Hello everyone, welcome. Today we will be calling one of the most popular areas to buy a house in Phoenix, Arizona. And that is Gilbert, Arizona. We had so many people coming, cash buyers, California buyers, you name it. They were coming down 2020, 2021, 2022, hot, ready to go. And Gilbert was one of those areas that just completely exploded. Is it still exploding? Well, we're going to find out today. We're going to call at least one or two houses and just on the phone, try to see how much I can talk them down. Now, there are some mega giga real estate chads out there. They're like, Javier, you know, it's not, everything verbal isn't true and you have to get in on. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Have a little fun. Obviously, we're not writing up a contract. And yes, once we present an offer or contract, we can definitely change. This is to help people just kind of see the conversations happening, to see how just agent to agent, how low they're willing to go or what they tell us, so they can understand the vibes. First things first, we're not going to be calling any new listings because, believe it or not, there are still some houses that sell really fast, really quick, and at list or above list price, because there are still going to be those special cases. There are always those special cases. Just like when I was born, I was the star of the hospital. Sometimes there's going to be some Javiers, okay? So we're not focusing on the Javiers, we're focusing on everything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on all the houses here in Gilbert. Let me move my pretty face over here. And you can see I was in the middle of typing Gilbert, but I stopped typing it. And what we're going to do is we're going to search it by days on market, because that's going to be give us our best shots to get a quote unquote good deal. There are some houses here that are in the market 100, 180 days. And these are going to be the sellers that are the most desperate. Now, I don't know any of these situations personally, but I can tell you as someone who at one point was desperate, that is what desperation looks like. That doesn't make sense. We're going to go with it. We're going to rock with it. So let's be kind. Let's not focus on the ones that have been, like, if it's like over like 6 months, then that's like a weird situation where maybe the seller's a little crazy or something. So we're going to be like around 90 days-ish to get a good idea. So if I was a buyer, you know, in 2020, 2021 area, you weren't going to get anything in Gilbert under like 450. I'm going to see if I can find something 420, 430. And for the sake of privacy, you will not see me pick the one on which one I'm going to call, okay? Why, Javier? Why can't we just see that? Well, you know, I got to have some privacy here, okay? I have some respect for these agents. I am, so, you know, toasting and roasting these agents live on the call. So, you know, I want to give something. Okay, I see one here for about 445 to 450. It's been about 96 days on the market. Looks like it was originally listed around 480 and now it is low 440s. So like anything, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the tax records to see how much equity the seller has, to see if it's a negotiable position for me. Looks like here they bought the house in, once again for privacy, I'm going to give you range 2018 and 2020 for about 260 to 280. So if they're trying to sell it for 440 to 450, then there's definitely a good chunk of profit there to be had. It looks like there was a refinance in the early 2020s for 330 to 340. So for sure, even at this current price, there's about over $100 of equity being made. So definitely some room to, I would say some wiggle room, especially since they, you know, just bought it recently. If one person gets permission to be recorded, in this case myself, I can record the call, but just to be safe and anonymous and to give obviously a fair shake, I will have Zeke edit the way they're talking. So I'll try not to talk while they're talking, but if sometimes it mixes in and I'm going to sound a little funky, you know, we're just going to rock with it. Hi, is this?
Yes, who's this?
Hi, this is Javier with My Home Group. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm calling you the property on. Just wanted to see if it's still available.
It is, yes.
Perfect. Have you had any offers since you've listed it?
We have. We had a solid offer in the very beginning of listing it, but at that time, my seller wasn't very believing of how the market was, so that one didn't work out. And we did actually go under contract on another one, but they're solar panels, and the buyer didn't understand. I guess the buyer's agent didn't do a good job helping them understand what it meant to take over the lease on solar, so they canceled for that reason.
Oh man! So at this point, I mean, is your seller in the position where they're like they have to sell right away or quickly, or they have time to wait on things?
I mean, they would, of course, they would like to sell it really quickly, but they're not in a rush. They don't have to leave.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I'm representing a buyer that's a little on the aggressive side. They're aware of the market and they're trying to take advantage of it. So, I mean, I have a general number. You can just let me know if it doesn't work or not before we schedule something. Like, they're thinking like 420. Do Do you think that would be doable for the seller?
To be honest with you, we started looking at open door stuff, which was lower than that. So he's kind of to a point where he's ready, but I don't know, to be honest with you. He might say that he wants to counter it maybe like 5, maybe slightly higher than that.
425?
Possibly, yeah. The reason why, and if you know what their highest and best is, I would suggest you just write it that way. That'll make him more open to just accepting it, because we are getting a lot of pushbacks with the solar. So I do think he's getting more inspired to like make moves happen. So I would say if you can write even something maybe closer to 425, and if that is your buyer's highest and best, to write that in there also, so that I can present it to him in that way.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let me chat with my buyer and I'll be in touch. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, so this once again, the situation, we have a really nice house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath in a really great part of town in the very hot city of Gilbert. Once again, the house price range, Zeke, please put all these numbers out so people can follow. It's in between 445 to 455, and it was originally listed in the 470s. However, upon talking to the person and just kind of having once again, it's all verbal, nothing is in writing, but you can get a really good sense from the listing agent where they are. I threw the number 420. That didn't seem to float. He or she liked about 425. So basically, we can save about $25,000 to $30,000 on this property, just in the basic conversation. Now, there is a solar situation going on there, which is very common in Phoenix, so nothing too crazy, but $25K to basically help, protect or pad yourself from any kind of price reduction, because I do believe in the next, year, a lot of these inflated values will start deflating. At what point they stop, only time will tell. But this is a situation where you could get a really good house in the low 400s in Gilbert, and probably, even though the interest rates are terrible, you're going to set yourself long term, especially in the great city like this. So there you go. First one, we're still able to talk it down. Of course, if we're looking for closing costs, we could do that. We can do instead of 425, we can do like 430 with 5K of concessions, or you can just be really aggressive and say 425 with like 5 to 10,000 of closing costs if you wanted to go down that route. Okay, here I found a pretty interesting one in Gilbert. It's between 470 to 480. What's interesting about this, it's been on the market for about 85 to 90 days, but it's only had a price reduction of about a few thousand, which is basically not a price reduction. Looking at the equity position, they purchased it in late 2000s for about mid 100s. There's about 300-ish thousand of equity. Probably even more, 330, 340, 350 after a thing. So there's plenty of equity here. So let's figure out what the situation is and why they haven't really reduced it, and if a buyer would have a good potential opportunity here to take advantage of it and get it. Once again, excellent area in Gilbert. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Hi,
Hey there, it's Javier with My Home Group. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm great. I'm calling you regarding Gilbert. Just wanted to check if it's still available.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Have you had any offers on it since you've listed it?
Yeah, we had one offer before, and then the buyer was a cash buyer, and he ended up offering on ours and another one, and the other one responded faster. And then we just got one last night, but it's pretty low, so it's not really one to be considered about.
Oh man, I bet everyone's losing sleep over that cash offer that slipped, huh?
Right, yeah, exactly. It wasn't the best offer ever, but it was solid, so it was one that she was considering, and then by the time she was going to respond, they said, oh, we went with the other house. I was like, oh, awesome.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you. I'm representing a pretty aggressive buyer, not an investor or anything like that, but someone who's aware of their situation in the market. I was told to float a number with you verbally. Just let me know if it doesn't work. They're thinking like 440-ish. Is it worth our time to go look at it still?
I would say check it out. Yeah, see if that's something that works. I could definitely present that to the seller. It's in the ballpark of where the other one was. So, I mean, it's not something I would do my best to try to get something together. I'll put it that way. I can't say that for sure that she would take that, but I think it's something in the ballpark. Yeah.
What would be a more accurate number so we don't have to go back and forth?
I think about 450 would probably get it done, or even at 450 probably.
Gotcha. Okay. Sweet. Well, let me chat with my buyer, and I'll be in touch.
Awesome.
So once again, that line of question is just golden to me, and it's been really effective. And one thing I really recommend you guys, and maybe it's a little unorthodox, but if you're with your agent and you just say, listen, I really like this house. Do you think I could just be on the phone with you while you chat? I'm not trying to micromanage you. I'm not trying to supervise you. I just want to hear the seller, because you can really tell a lot from the way they're responding and the way they talk. This guy or gal, depending on, you don't know who it is really professional. Didn't give me too much, but wants to make the deal work. Can tell he really cares about his client, and just wants to get it happen. And you know, I'm glad that I did the follow-up question of, you know, what would be a better number. So basically, if I'm correct, he's floating that 450-ish number as a number that's going to make it work. So this house being listed in the 470s, that's going to be about $20,000 to $30,000 off the list price to make it work. I don't know. I feel because the equity position is so favorable, maybe we can push things a little further with an additional 5 to 10K of concessions. So maybe I would start with the 450 with about, I don't know, 10,000 of concessions to see if it worked. A little aggressive, yes, but with them only having one solid offer this whole entire time, really, I think we're in a position to do that. So once again, another position where we can get off 20, 30K. Every 10,000 is about $50. So save about 100, $150 and potentially get our closing costs paid for, setting you up in a good position in a good neighborhood for the long term. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're buying right now, you're not buying because you want to, you're buying because you have to. You have to get out whatever you are, whatever situation you're in, to get into a house. So if you are in a position where you have to, it seems like that's going to be you can get yourself in a decent area, and of course things are more expensive with the interest rate, but you can at least pad things with that lower list price. If you have a specific area you want me to call, the city or neighborhoods in, please let me know. And of course, if you're looking for any home buying resources, go and check them out. That is my website. And of course, if you're looking for a great agent referral, homemoney.com/Javier to go check it out there. And of course, I have to say, guys, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the live stream. When is that live stream? Maybe I'm going to start live streaming more on YouTube. Who knows? I just don't know. You never know.